Good evening, everyone. Chris Schultz with Gary Hoff back at the Quality Inn in Monroe on Wednesday.
Did we ever leave?
We left.
Oh.
We're back. It's Wednesday. Gary's wearing the same clothes. I'm obviously changed. But anyways, we are going to do our Week 3 picks.
Yeah. Week 3?
As you recall from our wrap-up show that we did the other day.
Week 6 picks.
Week 6 picks, right?
You said Week 3.
Oh, well, whatever.
It's okay. Chris had a flat tire on the way, so
I did have a flat tire. I wasn't very happy.
Yeah.
I might have dirt on my face. But
Yeah.
Gary was 7-2. I was 6-3. Have you thought anything about these games?
Yeah.
You done some homework?
Sure.
Okay, I haven't done a lot of homework, but
Sure.
Let's dive into it. We do have a game tomorrow night, which is Bedford at Ann Arbor. Huron. Do we even want to pick this game?
It's going to be a whole heck of a lot to very little. Bedford.
100-0.
And an easy win.
Bedford.
They moved to 5-1.
Okay, and the River Rats will move to 0-6,
Yeah.
and they are what they are. Yeah. Okay, let's dive right into Allen Park at Gibraltar Carlson. Thoughts on that game, Gary?
Well, that might be a good game. Allen Park has some tradition, some history.
That's about all they have this year.
Yeah, when they were in the Mega, they were a force. And since then...
They had a great team last year.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Beat Huron in the playoffs, and ended up winning a couple. I think they won one game. They lost to Romulus, I believe it was. But they had their best team in a long time. They're down a little bit.
Yeah,
But your thoughts there?
I'm not picking against Gibraltar Carlson in the Downriver League. Maybe all year long. They're good. They got it rolling. 40 points is their mark. You got to keep them under 40 to beat them. And I don't think they're going to be held under 40 this game.
Yeah, I think Carlson wins that game as well. I think Allen Park's about as down as they've been in a long time.
Right.
Okay, let's jump into, we got Blissfield at Dundee. Dundee sitting there at 2-3. Probably needs to win out to get into playoffs because I don't think 5-4 will get them in. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, they need to get to 6. This is an interesting game. There's so many teams in the LCAA that it's kind of like the Huron League right now. You know, minus Hudson in the LCAA.
Blissfield knocked off Brooklyn Columbia Central.
Who knocked off Ida.
Yeah.
Who gave Ida their only loss, scored 40-some points against Ida. So these games are tough to pick when you got these middle teams in the LCAA.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Dundee. I think they right the ship. They realize they need this win desperately. And I'm going Dundee, but this game's going to be very, very close.
I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to go with the road team. I will go with the Blissfield Royals in this game. I don't know what's going on over at Dundee other than, maybe team speed is hurting them right now. I know they're a physical team, but they really don't have anybody who can fly.
I'm telling Frank.
Offensively.
I'm telling Frank he picked against
wow.
and he's not going to like it. He's a big boy, Frank.
Right,
he might show up at your door.
He might.
Frank, I picked Dundee.
Okay, so that's one game we disagree on right there. Yeah. So I've got Blissfield, you've got Dundee. Next is Erie Mason at Ida, kind of a backyard brawl type game, but I think we know where this game's going.
Yeah, Ida's they're going to be very hard to stop for Erie in that full house tee. Once it gets rolling, it's just downhill. So yeah, I'm not picking against Ida, absolutely not. Erie's they're just trying to get better each week. Getting these practice days in, that's the most important thing for Coach Boudry and his young Eagles right now. But, I'm taking Ida.
Okay, very good. Next game, why don't we talk about the Riverview Pirates at the Jefferson Bears? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, Jefferson's kept it close.
Did I even pick in that last game?
You didn't, but I think
I'm going to take Ida.
Yeah,
so.
I was going to say something, but I think you made your...
Okay, Riverview at Jefferson.
Yeah, Jefferson's kept it close the last 2 weeks. My buddy Grodi, he's a big Jefferson guy. When we're doing the radio and I'm getting the updates from you or from whomever, I always tell him the score, and he's been happy the last 2 weeks and then very disappointed at the end. I would be really, really, really surprised if Jefferson somehow kept this game close. Gene Janot has these boys in beach country playing well. But, boy, Riverview is just a monster right now, and the only thing that's going to stop them is maybe getting a little too full of themselves. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, but I like Riverview.
Yeah, I would say about this game, I think Riverview's my favorite team to watch right now in the Heron League because they really beat the snot out of
They're
people
just so
is what
physical.
they do. And then my team I want to win the most in the Heron League
Yeah.
of any team right now is Jefferson. They deserve to win a game. Gene
Yes, they
Janot deserves to get his first win over there. Unfortunately, I don't think it happens against Riverview. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit closer than people think, but I just think Riverview wins that game.
Yeah.
So, all right, why don't we go to, here's a big game in the SEC Red, and that is the Saline Hornets at the Monroe Trojans. Thoughts there?
Well, Monroe's got them at home. That's a very good thing. And Saline's one of the better programs in the state. They're not super, super strong this year, but they're strong. I think they'll probably make a regional. And, we want Monroe to win, obviously. They're one of our teams. Boy, I just can't pick them against a real good program in Saline. Monroe's 3-2. They need this one to get to 4-2 to make the playoffs, and are gearing towards the playoffs. But boy, Saline's tough, and Monroe's going to have to find a way to get some turnovers, get the run game going, shorten the game type of a thing. But I like Saline.
Yeah, I think Saline's going to win the game too. Love to see Monroe win this because Monroe's at 3-2 right now. They've got 3 real tough games left.
Right.
They've got Saline, obviously, this week. They've got Bedford the following week, and then they've got Fordson in week 9. They've got to find a win either this week or when they play Bedford, because I don't think it will happen when they play Fordson. So, but I'm going to go with Saline. I think it'll be a closer game than maybe you would think. Maybe just because it's at Monroe,
there's been a couple times in recent years that Monroe's kept this game close, and they've almost won it at times. So you just never know. Those 3 teams you mentioned, Bedford, Saline, and Fordson have a combined record of 13-2. So they got to find a way to get one of those wins, maybe 2 of them. It's going to be tough. For sure. Tough schedule.
It'll be a tough game for the Trojans this week. Next on the list is New Boston Huron at Milan. Milan is sitting at 3-2 right now, while the Chiefs are at 4-1. Thoughts on that game?
This is a great game.
Now, this is a game where it's your Chiefs that you picked to win the league versus my Big Reds, who I picked to win the league.
Your Big Reds are a little banged up. I don't know if they have anybody back this week or not. We don't know. I'm not picking against Huron. I picked them to win the league. This is another step in that process. They're tied for first right now. Is Huron. And, I just think they bounce back after getting beat by CC at home and in front of a big crowd. And I think Coach Spies has their attention this week. If he didn't have it before, he certainly has it now, and the kids are practicing hard. And I think they come out and beat Milan pretty good.
Okay, I'm going to differ with you here. I'm going to go with the Milan Big Reds. One, because I never really pick against Milan because they burn me every time I do. So I'm picking the Big Reds. And it's their homecoming, I believe. So it'll be a big crowd over there. I'm just going with Milan. I think I'm going to go with Jesse Hoskins and Michael Furtney.
Okay.
So we differ on that game.
Sure.
Let's dive into the game that you will be covering, and that is the Grosse Ile Red Devils finally traveling off the island to SMCC and playing over in the friendly confines of Navarre Field.
Yeah. SMCC's homecoming, bit of a distraction.
Gary will be in his glory.
Yeah, coaches don't like to play game. They don't like to play that week of homecoming. They always feel it's a distraction, and this is a little bit of a trap game for SMCC. Kind of with a huge win last Friday.
You're not picking against the home.
Grosse Ile's 1-3. 2-3. They were 1-3 last week. Got the big win last week over Flat Rock. Moved to 2-3. So you got 2-2-3 teams. They're kind of mirroring each other on the season. Whoever wins this game gets to 3-3, and they got to feel they have hope in the season. Get to 500 at this point for either one of these 2 teams would be huge. I'm going with the Falcons. 2 weeks in a row, I'm taking my Falcons to beat Grosse Ile. I just think everyone's healthy now. They got Sam Cousineau back, the star sophomore linebacker. You've seen that kid. He is the real deal.
He's a very good player.
Very good player. He's a difference maker for that team. Toby Huber comes back. I think they have their whole team. They beat Grozeal. It's going to be close, though. Bowden's going to keep it close.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game, but I think the Red Devils will have a hard time stopping the T, especially the way that it's Josh Blanchett, right?
Josh Blanchett, yeah.
He was flawless in the Huron CC game last week. He was flawless. If he runs the offense like that, they're going to win a lot of games. And especially if they get into the playoffs, they're going to surprise people. I really liked what that kid did. He was in command of the offense, and I think Coach Adam Kiff put him in great situations last week. And if he continues to do that, they're going to be a tough team to beat. So I'll go with the Falcons.
I couldn't agree more.
But all right, and then I think that's everything except for the Gerwick Nissan Game of the Week, which is the Airport Jets traveling to the Flat Rock Rams. Both teams are 3-2, I believe. This is a big game, and people don't know. When I went to Flat Rock, Huron wasn't our big rival. Carlson was, and then Airport was. And the reason being was there was a lot of Airport people whose parents had gone to Flat Rock, and then vice versa. It was a big rivalry. They played for something called the Jug. I'm assuming they still play for the Jug. But anyways,
let us know if
this is a good rivalry game. Your thoughts on this? It's going to be interesting to see. I've said all along that Flat Rock's got good speed. I think Airport has great speed. Two very good quarterbacks. You got the Truth, who wasn't so truthful last week when he threw 2-3 interceptions, against Tanner Jessica, who
big game.
Maybe the best quarterback in the Huron League.
Right.
Tough to tell, but I'm sure the kid over at Riverview would have something to say about that. But anyways, thoughts?
Yeah, interesting. Riverview's only losses to Flat Rock. Airport last week lost to Riverview by 30 or whatever it was.
51-28.
Yeah, 51-28, 22 points, 23 points. And so
that's that CC education coming through that math right there.
So you would think Flat Rock is the team to pick here. We've loved Flat Rock all year. The beginning of the year, we said, well, these guys look really good. I just think teams are starting to figure out Flat Rock right now. I just sense it.
I think it's Flat Rock's homecoming. I should know that, right, as a Flat Rock graduate. Haven't gotten a formal invite to be there. I think it's homecoming. I'm not sure.
I think teams are starting to figure Flat Rock out.
He's leaning.
And I like Airport in this one. I think Airport's going to score.
I don't think I've ever heard those words come out of your mouth. I like Airport.
Well, I don't know. I just think Airport's going to outscore Flat Rock. The games might be in the 30s, type of a thing, and Dotson versus Jessica, we mentioned, great matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just 4 versus Tayeb. There's a lot of great individual matchups there. I like Airport to move to 4-2. They're just hard to beat. I mean, like the 28-7, they come back and tied up 28. When you think you got them put away, here they come, and then they've won the 2 games at the end there, and then of course lost the one at the end. But I like Airport in a high scoring, close game, and they moved to 4-2, and Flat Rock I've got them 3-3.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Flat Rock. I think Flat Rock bounces back. I think they maybe thought a little bit too much of themselves, maybe overlooked, maybe got caught peeking a little bit. I think their focus is back. I think Coach Ram will have them focused again, and I think Flat Rock wins this game. I think it'll be a close one, and I'm even going to go as far to say that Tayeb kicks a 39-yard field goal as time runs out to win the game by 1 point.
Well, why not? It's Airport. It's going to be the last second.
Exactly.
Why not? But this is a great game. Good for Airport, good for Flat Rock. Good for the people that are going to be at this game. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and I think Flat Rock's won 2 in a row in this series, which Flat Rock hadn't really won many times in the last 20 years, but they've won a couple in a row. So that's the picks for this week's. We do want to thank the Quality Inn in Monroe for allowing us to be here and record our show. One thing we would like you to do, we've got some free rooms here at the Quality Inn in Monroe. If you would like to win one of those free rooms for a free night stay, you can use the pool, hang out in beautiful Monroe. And what we want you to do is either take videos or pictures from the game you're at, send it in to FridayNightVictors@gmail.com. We will figure out who the best one is, maybe the top two. We'll get your name. We'll send you a free night stay at the Quality Inn in Monroe.
Maybe that's just not the best video. Put some flavor in there. Put some
Do
style in there.
something.
Something, to get our...
Make a fun video.
Make a fun video. You don't have to be in it. You don't have to have your name in there at all. Just something for us.
From the game, though.
From the game. Yeah, very important tidbit there. From the game. And, free night stay here at Quality Inn.
Perfect. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week after the games. FridayNightVictors.com. Thanks.